Alright guys, let's talk about my crypto portfolio personally. What I have and why I have it, I can explain. And yeah, I can show you that, crypto has been pretty good to me. Now, I want to point out that this is not 100% correct. My total profit is actually more. I've only originally put in about $15,000 to $16,000. Now, I want to say with staking over the years and these debit cards that you get 1, 2, 3% back, airdrops, launch pools give me back a lot, guys. That pretty much lowers my entry personally to maybe about, I would say, $10,000 to $12,000. Now, keep that in mind. So, basically, I've put in $10,000 to $12,000 of my own personal money, where I've gotten back a lot, from doing these things. So yeah, I just want to point that out, and yeah, let's start going down the list, guys. Now, I also want to point out before we get into the list that I do have another place that I track my coins, Live Coin Watch. Now, the reason I have both is, well, one's a backup. And basically, I just like the way this shows me this chart. And, it's a little bit easier to update this one than CoinGecko. So, yeah, I would recommend doing both just in case. You never know when, something can get deleted. And you always have a backup. So, now let's get into the coins. So, yeah, guys, you can see top coin for me basically is BNB. Now, I call this the poor man's Bitcoin. It's number 6 now. It used to be number 4. Basically, if you take out, the stable coins, it would be number 3. But it has since moved down to XRP and Solana. So, I still think BNB is an excellent, safe choice. That's why I have it. You can see that I have, over $7,000 of my holdings here is in BNB. Now, this is my profit. Now, again, my profit isn't 100% for these coins because some of these coins I entered, after I started buying them. For example, like I said, I entered like nearly 4 years ago and held many of these coins. And I think I started this portfolio maybe 2 or 2.5 years ago. So it's not 100%, but it can be pretty close. My profit is quite large with BNB, I can say. Now, my second choice on this list is Near Protocol. I do believe Near Protocol has a chance to do something like Solana. It's basically the competitor to Solana. And, yeah, it's, if you're looking for something that is cheaper than Solana to get into that's good, Near Protocol would be an excellent choice, guys. This went up to $20 or so last bull run, and I believe it has a chance to well exceed that. And much of my Near I bought at like $1, guys. I bought it like maybe, I think it was in October of 2023, basically when we had that breakout with altcoins. So I noticed the fact that altcoins were going up. I saw Near around $1, and I bought the majority of it there. I've gotten a lot from staking too, guys. Really, I get a lot from staking. So much of my Near is even for free. Now, you see Harmony 1. This is my third coin. I have made this my dark horse, basically, guys. I'm not saying that this is an excellent coin to get into. They did have the problem with the hack a couple of years ago. I noticed that, and I wanted to take a chance on this because I have seen things like the blockchain isn't that bad, but the leadership of the project is not so great, guys. I've seen a lot of things on YouTube about it, and yeah, I don't really like that fact about it, but you never know. This can go maybe to $1. That's what I'm hoping. But at this point, being at 3 cents, I don't think it's going to make it there. I would just be happy if it got to the all-time high. Now, BitGet is another exchange token that I hold, like BNB. it has come really a long way, guys. And I do believe BitGet Exchange itself is going to really be one of the top exchanges in crypto in the coming years. Their staking, I would say average. Best was Binance for a long time, but I've even seen that Binance's staking, has not been so great as of late. And other exchanges have done better, like Bitrue or XT.com. So, yeah, I mean, I do have just a little bit in BitGet the BitGet exchange, not the token. I certainly have a lot. Now, you can see, though, this is probably fairly up to date, I would say, because I think I bought BitGet token maybe a year and a half ago. I mean, it's not, too long ago. Definitely, I started to make this portfolio, after I bought before I bought the BitGet token. So this is probably pretty close to, the actual profit. So you can see, I think my first buy for BitGet token was around 30 to 35 cents. And I think I bought several times. And I think I bought up to about 50 cents or so. And yeah, everything that I get in the launch pools there, I'm exchanging for BitGet token. So I've even, sold some BitGet token as well because I needed other cryptos. I think I sold about 75 or so, or 80, maybe 90 of the BitGet token. I actually got it down to an even 1,000, and this wasn't too long ago, guys. And now you can see I've already got 1,056, and that's all from launch pools and things, guys. So yeah, I really love this exchange. I love this token. I think it's going to go very far. This token, I believe, could go even to $20 to $25. Now, XRP, guys, I've held this really since the beginning when I got in. My big buy was around like 23 cents or something like this, 26 cents, a long time ago, guys. Now, I didn't get all 1,000, and I even sold off some of the XRP just to get other tokens as well. But my goal always was 1,000, so that's why I'm holding at least 1,000 here. And it's like BitGet. I hold at least 1,000 of it because that was always my goal. Near 500 was always my goal. BNB 10 was always my goal. So 100,000 of one was always my goal too. So I'm at least holding the minimums of what I always wanted. And if I find something that I want later or need or then I can use some of this. So I'm not really, worried. I don't, look at my portfolio and say, oh, that, it looks terrible at 950. I always wanted 1,000. What am I doing? I have my minimum there and I keep it there. Now, if I get something more, I can move it. Yeah. Now, Arweave, this is one that also I picked up in October of 2023. I bought it at like $4, guys. Arweave is really going to be a big player, and a lot of influencers like Arweave. Some influencers even say they believe this cycle $400 to $500 is possible. Now, do I believe that? Probably not. Maybe 200, 250, because it went to like $80 or $90 last cycle. So yeah, I do believe it has a chance. It's already at about $22 at the moment. In March, it was at $50. So yeah, it can definitely, I think, get to about $200. Now, Uniswap is actually one that I sold last cycle. I think around $40 with my chain link that I had. And I scooped it back up around $7 to $8. I don't remember exactly when. Now, this profit and loss is probably not correct. But it was one of the first cryptos that I picked back up. And I was so happy when I got it back at about $7 or $7.50. And yeah, I mean, I could have gotten it much lower, guys. And you learn. So yeah, right now it's $16.50. Okay, I'm more than double. But yeah, this was one of the first ones that I picked back up personally. I do believe Uniswap has a good future. And they're about to start revenue sharing with the people that are staking Uniswap. So yeah, Chronos, this is kind of one that I'm a little bit disappointed in, guys. This is an exchange token from the Crypto.com exchange. Now I do hold like 8,000 of this, and I have sold off some of it, and I'm even thinking about selling off a little bit more of this. But I always wanted their cards, the green or the blue card, where I can get the VIP lounge access in the airports. So I don't know. I might hold on to it. Maybe not. Not all of it at least. Probably minimum like 5,000, because that was always my goal. So now Gate token, this is one that I picked up recently, and I did sell off some of my BNB guys for this, and I think KuCoin as well. I had like 14 or so, or 13 and a half BNB, and I mean, it was sitting at about, I think, $8 when I picked this one up. KuCoin was at 9 or so, and yeah, I just really wanted to get these other exchange tokens because they have potential, guys, and both of these actually have a really low supply, and they are up and coming exchanges that are, it's something like BitGet. They're good exchanges, I believe. Gate, okay, it may have had a shaky past. I'm still not 100% sure on the Gate, exchange. I would recommend not using that one if you could, for now, until we really see how transparent they are in the future. But KuCoin, it's not bad. So I do think, I get more benefit though from Gate. I do, basically from the staking, I've gotten, almost 5 Gate for free since I've had it, and I've only had it for like a month or a month and a half. KuCoin, you can see I got the same. I got 100, and you can see I only got like 1.76 KuCoin more, and that's from launch pools. Now, Gate gives you a lot of airdrops, and basically it changes all of these little, small pieces into Gate token for you automatically. So yeah, I mean, I've gotten a lot of Gate just for free. Now, if we look at the next one on the list, that is Polkadot. Basically, that was one of the first couple that I picked up again, also, like around, with Uniswap. I picked it up, I think, somewhere around $6 or $7. So I'm a little bit up on this right now. Now, I picked it up because it was one of the hotter projects of the last cycle. It's number 18 project right now. A lot of people think Polkadot is dead. I personally don't. I think it'll do just fine. You just have to be patient with it. And Optimism, this is somewhat of a newer project. I wish, I would have picked up more of this back when it was like, it was really low. It was like 80 cents, 70 cents, something like this. And yeah, it's just, one of these that I just, really wanted, and minimum of 500 of. And I got a lot of this actually from Coinbase for free, because they had a lot of Optimism, actions going on maybe a couple years ago when this first came out. So much of this is for free. My wife, her entire bag is free, and I think she has about 70 Optimism or something like this. So she has paid nothing for her Optimism. Now, next on the list is Cardano. Cardano is one that I've really been disappointed about too. And there are a couple of other influencers, bigger influencers, that believe, the ecosystem of Cardano is just not, it's dying. There's not much there that's really, there's not many good projects there. It's really slow in development. Now, I got so many comments on this when I've talked about this before. But this is still one of my larger holdings, guys. I do believe Cardano will probably have a good, cycle this cycle. Just not sure about the next cycle, because basically I think it's going to be something like Ethereum. Ethereum is going to die out because who wants to use Ethereum? It's slow, the fees are high, you know. So I know Cardano has low fees, but it just needs to get to, you know, developing much quicker because they're losing to other, you know, ecosystems that, you know, are just competing with them. So anyways, guys, Cosmos, this is one that I picked up. Excellent ecosystem. Little bit disappointed with the price action of Cosmos though. Although I think last cycle it was somewhere between $40 and $45. Do I think it can get there? Well, if I, you know, thought it couldn't, then I probably wouldn't pick it up. I've actually gotten quite a bit of this from staking as well, because they used to give like, I don't know, like 20 or 25% staking for Cosmos. It has gotten much lower since, but yeah, I've gained at least like 20 of this, I think, from staking. So Filecoin, this is a competitor to Arweave, guys. Last bull run, it was one of the most shocking cryptos out there. It went from literally dollars to hundreds of dollars. And, you know, I don't think it's going to get back to its all-time high because of the inflation of the token. But I picked this up, I think, around $5, guys. And I picked up like a little bit more. I think I got 100 of it at $5. So I think I got the next 50 probably in the 4s and 3s and things like this. So I've kind of averaged it out, but yeah, I mean, I don't know if this is correct. I don't think it is, this profit really. But, you know, I've actually even sold off a lot of Filecoin as well from staking. Now, next on the list is PancakeSwap. I picked up a lot of PancakeSwap a long time ago. This was, you know, basically in my first year of crypto, and they had like 30 and 40% staking in Binance, so I gained a lot of PancakeSwap just for free, and I actually, you know, got my 300 that I kind of always wanted. I think in the you know, October 2023, when I noticed that all of the cryptos were going up. It's one of the ones that I just kind of rounded out my number here. So I do believe PancakeSwap can make it back to, you know, its all-time high again. Although it's got a little bit of work to do. It's one of the little bit slower ones, I can say, but I do believe it's a good project. It's tied to Binance, guys. So I think it definitely has a good future. Yeah, so that's why I picked it up. Now, Render, it's kind of a mistake of me that I picked it up around, the lower $5, that I didn't pick it up. Actually, I chose Optimism when I was thinking about buying either Render or Optimism, because I think they both came out the same time or so, and, you know, a lot of people were not so sure about Render, and they were, you know, talking about Render, it's not so good, and, you know, there's no need for it, and now everybody's about Render. So anyways, I should have picked that up, just, you know, but I didn't, and it's one of the coins that I had to take some BNB and a few other cryptos and kind of spread out my money and get, you know, my minimum 100 that I like to get. Now, my next one on the list is Sui, guys, and I actually picked this up about a month and a half ago or so, maybe 2 months now. I think around $1.60 to $1.70, and I have to say this is probably one of my mistakes. I should have picked it up much lower, and yeah, I mean, it's probably the next Solana, a lot of people are saying, and yeah, I think this one probably has one of the brightest futures, and I just wish I had gotten more. Right now, you know, I don't know if I can pick up any more. I got a couple of hundred of it, guys. I mean, this is pretty, this is, I think, correct, because I just got it about, a month and a half, 2 months ago, like I said. So the profit is real here. But yeah, I do expect Sui could probably make it to $20 or $25 even. Now, Theta Network, guys, this is to do with AI. Pretty much the profit here, I believe, is real. You know, I've gotten my 300 that I want. But yeah, this is, you know, in the AI sector now, so that's why I have it. ApeCoin, basically this is a metaverse, and you know, nothing is really going to happen with ApeCoin until they get this metaverse settled. And I do believe this has great potential, though. It's kind of another dark horse of mine. This coin was $26 at one point last cycle. And if they get that metaverse out, easily it's going to surpass its all-time high, I think, very quickly. Now, they just came out with ApeChain not too long ago. That saw it spike in the price. And yeah, I mean, I've gotten a ton of this from just staking it in BitGet. That's actually the best place to stake. And yeah, guys, I actually sold off a lot of this too from the staking just to pick up other coins. Now, taking a look at the next on the list, it's Stacks, guys. Stacks is actually connected with Bitcoin. It's an ordinal. As long as Bitcoin does well, Stacks is going to do very well. It's probably a $20 to $25 coin, you know, and this profit is actually probably real as well. I picked up a lot of this at very low prices, so I'm pleased with where I got it. I've gotten my, you know, 300, and yeah, Matic is one that I've had for a really long time, guys. Not sure that the profit is 100% here, probably not, as it was one of the first ones that I picked up. Now, I have gained quite a bit of Matic over the years, at least a couple hundred. I haven't sold any off, or at least not much of it. So, yeah, this is something that I've gotten at least probably 200, even like maybe even almost 300, because like I said, I've sold off just a little bit maybe throughout the time, but in just small pieces really. So I do believe Matic will come back. Although it's down number 123, it's kind of crazy to see it that low. Last bull run, it was, you know, super high. I believe this is going to be one that shocks people, but we just have to wait and see. Now, Hedera is one of the, you know, hype coins right now. I picked it up actually the last cycle, and this, you know, I mean, it could be the profit. It was probably during the downfall, actually, of the last cycle. So this could be very close to the profit. I'm not 100% sure. I think I picked up the majority of this around 4 to 5 cents, though. So Sushi is one that I picked up relatively early. I don't think the profit here is correct, but Sushi, I think it had a problem with bankruptcy a couple of years ago or something like this. The project went bankrupt. You know, it's sad to see this number 249 on the list, but do I think it can make it back to its all-time high this cycle? You know, being at $2.11 right now, anything is possible, but, you know, I'm inclined to say it might not. It might be one of the few that doesn't make it back that I believe are, you know, good projects, but it can. You know, it has potential as long as the project is alive. I think they did find funding for this, you know, after they announced it was bankrupt or something, so it might be okay. Now, Phantom here, that's another good one that I picked up a while back. Pretty much, yeah, I think this is probably pretty close to the profit in real life. Now, I just picked it up because I've heard a lot of influencers talk about it. It's actually one of the hotter projects, I would say, you know, right now. Maybe it's kind of faded a little bit even, just as recently, but yeah, Toncoin, guys, this is connected to Telegram. In the beginning, I was kind of against this, but I do believe now this is probably going to be one of the better coins, although it has been pretty stagnant since I bought it, guys. I'm a little bit disappointed with the price action of this. But you know, it's probably going to take off at some point. Just got to be patient. XT.com, I wish I had more of this, guys. This is another exchange coin, and I bought this after I sold Huobi token HT, and I think I bought like 100 for 250 or something like this, or maybe even less, because you can see the profit here. Now I believe this profit is correct. So yeah, I've even sold off a little bit of this token because I've gotten a lot from staking before. And I have to say, this could be a really, really good one. You know, I'm just really shocked how good it has been compared to a lot of other tokens. It's sitting at over 1,000, on the charts here, but it's not a bad exchange, guys. They give a lot of like staking. And by that, I mean, percentages, basically. So, anyways, Immutable X, this is one that was a competitor to Loopring. I did have both at one time. Decided to get rid of the Loopring because Immutable X is just a better, project overall. Now, FET, this one has kind of merged from several. It was Ocean and Singularity. Now it's all merged. I got, my 300 of this. The profit, this is probably not correct, I think. But this is going to be an excellent, artificial, intelligence coin in the future. I do believe this could even rocket up to the top 20, maybe even the top 10. Algorand, this is like as hot as H-bar right now at the moment. This one has, gone up quite a bit. I've held Algorand since last cycle though, so I'm not sure that this profit is correct over here. But it's definitely one that you should have. I do believe it's kind of a dark horse like H-bar, because now we're getting into my portfolio at the point where you kind of have somewhat a gray area, whether they're dark horses or they're going to be for sure excellent cryptos. Now, Alchemy Pay, I think this is going to rocket once China gets in and fully gets in. I think this is based in China or somewhere, but this has to do with payments and things. So yeah, I do like this one for that reason. Kadena, one of the guys that was mentioned in the Bitcoin white paper. He was actually in this project. He's one of the founders of this project. I picked this up, 2 summers ago, and haven't made a lot of profit because I picked it up a little bit high at first, but I have DCA'd into it and I've gotten my magical 300 that I wanted, and so yeah, I'm starting to make a profit on that. Now, Arbitrum, this is kind of one that I'm a little bit disappointed with. I have DCA'd since I bought my first 100, of course. So now I am in profit, but it's kind of like Optimism, this one. But it's just, Optimism has done a little bit better, I think, with price action than Arbitrum. So basically, I would say they're the same, though. They're just, with different names. I'm sure there's some difference, of course, guys, but basically you can send money on either one of these, blockchains, and they're just as good as one another. Now, VeChain here, this is one that, it's with logistics and things. There's a few other influencers that are kind of big on this one. The profit may be real over here. But yeah, VeChain, I think it's an excellent project. Now, the graph, this is like, I've heard it described as the Google of, Web3. So I've had actually much of this since the last cycle, although I did probably, I think, buy about 500 more. I've gotten a lot from staking, and I've recently sold off a little bit. So, I think this is going to be an excellent one. Even like BitBoy Crypto, he says that the graph is in his top 10, I think, for this cycle. Gala, a little bit disappointing because they're suing each other, at least the founders of this project. It's with gaming, and yeah, I have much of this stuck on Uphold, unfortunately. Cartesi, this was one that BitBoy actually hyped up a while back. I am somewhat tempted to sell this one off and pick up something different, for example, Sui or something else. But maybe I'll wait it out this cycle. It tends to fly when it gets to flying. So Sand, this is Metaverse basically, and I think it's better than Decentraland from what I've seen, and that's why I have it. Stellar, basically this is the baby sister or brother, whatever you want to call it, of XRP. So I just picked up some of this because of that reason, guys. When XRP moves, Stellar moves. So yeah, why not have them both? And I have, I bought it at a very low price. You can see my profit here is quite large. Now, Ronin, this is one that also is, I think, into gaming and things, tied with Axie Infinity. Now, I just picked this up not too long ago. There was some Coinbase, like you got some learning rewards for this, so I picked it up not long after that. I waited for it to drop down, though, a little bit, and yeah, my profit is, what, 5 cents right now. Anyways, XDC Network, this is one that I have in my portfolio as well. I've heard some influencers talk about it maybe about a year ago, and could be a good project. AMP is one of the more disappointing projects here in my portfolio, but it's basically due to the SEC suing them. And let's see if AMP can get back on track. Now, this profit and loss is not 100% correct, guys. I know that for a fact, so I'm way down on my AMP. I bought a lot of AMP at about 5 cents, guys. So not all of this 20,000. Now, it's something that I'm thinking about DCAing into in the coming days. But I still got to see AMP get above like 1.2 cents, guys. And I mentioned that on my last AMP video. 1.2 cents is critical for AMP. Now, DAG is similar, maybe something like XDC. I always think of these two together. Basically, I heard crypto, influencers talk about it in the past. Decided to pick up just as much as I did in XDC. I think it was around the same time. Ondo is a new one that I picked up. It's done very well, so the profit is real here. I do believe Ondo has a future, and this is one I'm really considering getting more of before it gets too expensive. Mantle, this is kind of one that's like used in Bybit for launch pools. So it's kind of like the BitGet token or BNB for me. Mantle, I just associate with Bybit. So I'm trying to get as much Mantle as I can, from the launch pools and converting to Mantle in Bybit. Kati, a lot of influencers are, talking about this. They think it's going to do really well. It's number 315 though on the list. Excellent project from what I've heard. So I do have a little bit of it. Tezos, this is one that I've heard from maybe 1 or 2 influencers that like it, and then 1 or 2 that really don't. So I just have a small amount, guys. Nothing major in it, but in my opinion, it can probably do well. Moonbeam, now this one, I picked it up because of influencers as well. I just have a little bit. I put in like $100 on it. And yeah, you can see this is probably real profit. Tron, associated with Justin Sun. Not many people like that fact, but I do believe